Good morning. We'll just give a few moments for folks to come in from the waiting room. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless and until you are appearing or testifying before the board. We'll give just another minute to make sure folks come in. Okay, good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to certain temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing will be recorded and posted to the city of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Good morning. Thank you, Danny. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm chair of the Boston Licensing Board, and today I'm pleased to be joined by my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon.
Thank you. And as a reminder, please mute yourself unless or until you are appearing or testifying before the board. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will then make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chairwoman and commissioners. Following the questions, there will be testimony beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. We'll begin with item number 1 on this morning's agenda, calling Cholet SR LLC, doing business as North End Creamery located at 121 Salem Street, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above. First floor customer service area, basement for storage, manager Sandra Russo, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
That would be me, Danny. How are you? Good morning.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I appreciate everyone's time, and I'll be as quick as possible. I'm here representing Sandra Russo, who may or may not be on the call. I didn't really check the participants, but she is seeking a CD license at 121 Salem Street to open up an ice cream shop. And we are a strictly takeout business. Her ice cream shop is going to be strictly takeout. There are no seats. It is roughly 400 square foot business. She is a former owner of a similar establishment in the North End. She used to own a business called Lulu's Sweet Shop that was located on Hanover Street, as well as Parmenter Street. And pretty basic operation. It's going to be an ice cream shop with some packaged candy. And her hours of operation are going to be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And that is really in similarity to the businesses on the Salem Street kind of business district. So if anyone's not familiar with Salem Street, it's very commercial retail space on the ground level. And most restaurants are 11 p.m. closing. So we're going to kind of stay in line with that.
Stephen, is it 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.?
Yes, I'm sorry, Monday. Yes, 7 days a week.
Okay.
And I'm sure the hours of operation will fluctuate based on the season, you know. But it's not going to go beyond 11 p.m. That's certain.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Not for me, thanks.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning. I'm Sarah D'Amico with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. I'm just here to state that they completed their community process. Their abutters meeting was held on February 24th, and they have a letter of support from NURA and NUNIC. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling items 2 and 3 as they concern the same transactional matter. J. Pache and Son Central Inc. doing business as J. Pache and Son located at 75 Blossom Court. And J. Pache and Son Uptown Inc. doing business as J. Pache and Son Waterfront located at 1 Park Lane. Holder of a retail package store all alcohol license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Joseph S. Pache to Cara Pache, who is present on behalf of the applicant. Is anybody here present on behalf of J. Pache and Son? We will take a second call. Calling item number 4 on this morning's agenda, Jimmy's Corner Inc. doing business as Jimmy's Corner, located at 143 P Street in South Boston. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to pledge the license, stock, and inventory to Newburyport 5 Cent Savings Bank. Attorney James C. Rudzer. Attorney Rudzer.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is a refinance of a commercial loan with Newburyport Savings Bank. Jimmy's Corner has been in existence for a while. It's had some financing arrangements in place. Newburyport, they're not an insider. They have no interest in the license. And we're asking the board to approve the pledge of the license to secure the repayment of the loan.
Thank you, Attorney. I don't have any further questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
Questions for me? Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President's Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board.
Calling item number 5, Roshan Inc. doing business as Richdale Food Shops located at 23 Beacon Street. Holder of a retail package store wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to pledge the license to Rockland Trust Company. Attorney Gregory P. Hillier. Attorney Hillier, are you with us?
Good morning. This is Barsnab Khan with Roshan Inc. I'm the owner of the company at 15 Westchester Drive, Canton, Massachusetts. We took a loan on the existing business, and we're petitioning for a pledge with Rockland Trust.
So can you explain that to me again, Barsnap? You represent.
Good morning, Madam Chairman. My name is Barsnab Khan. I'm the owner of Roshan Inc. The app. We are taking a loan with Rockland Trust for some financing. So in order to do so, they required to pledge the license.
Okay, so you're refinancing a current loan that you have with Rockland Trust?
A new loan, yes.
A new loan.
I will get that over to you for sure.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions, commissioners. Do you?
No questions. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President's Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 6, Vesper LLC doing business as Vesper Bar located at 61 Brookline Ave. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business from Vesper Bar to Plant Pub Fenway. Secondly, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Panos Demeter to Patrick Michael McCauley. Attorney Nicholas Azula. Attorney Zazula.
Yep. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, Executive Secretary Green, Attorney Nick Zazula, McDermott, Quilty, and Miller, 28 State Street in Boston, here on behalf of Vesper LLC. As read into the record, these are two simple administrative hearing matters. The first is a change of a DBA name from the previous kind of placeholder name of Vesper Bar to the actual operating name of Plant Pub Fenway. as well as his change of manager of record, again, from a kind of a previous placeholder manager of record prior to opening of Panos Demeter to Mr. Patrick McCauley, who is here with me today and on screen. These are both further kind of final cleanup items on the liquor license. You may recall back a few months ago on January 26th, we were here for a management agreement between the licensee and the management entity, Fenway Plant-Based LLC. So this is just kind of the final feather in the cap of the changeover to the management entity with their DBA name and with their manager of record at the premises. As indicated, Mr. McCauley is here. He's virtually present. He's never been a manager of record on a liquor license in the Commonwealth before, but he does have extensive experience in the industry, in the hospitality industry as a craft beer entrepreneur and restaurant owner. He was a co-founder of Barrel House Z Brewing in Weymouth and does have other experience in the industry. As required, Madam Chair, before you ask the questions, he is a citizen of the United States. He is a resident of Massachusetts in Weymouth. He is over 21 years of age. He is also TIP certified, which we submitted his certification to the board prior to the hearing today. So he has familiarized himself with the rules and regulations for the city, as well as for the state for the sale and service of alcohol. I think that covers everything, but as always, happy to answer any questions you might have, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Attorney Zazula, and thank you, Mr. McCauley, for joining us. Your attorney covered the 4 manager of record questions that the board asks every manager of record that appears before us. So thank you for joining us. I don't have any further questions at this time. Commissioners, do you?
None for me, thank you.
Nothing further from me. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling items 7 and 8, Brado Brewhouse and Kitchen LLC, doing business as Brado Brewhouse and Kitchen, located at 190 North Beacon Street in Brighton. Holder of a common vitular license and holder of a farmer brewery pouring license, malt beverages only, has petitioned to amend the indoor closing hour of the licensed business from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
That would be myself, Jonathan Gilman.
Thank you, Mr. Gilman. You may proceed and present to the board your proposal.
Thank you. We petitioned to our neighborhood and have gone through the neighborhood process through an abutters meeting and meeting with the Brighton Allston Improvement Association. A proposal. Originally, we had recommended or tried to seek for our license to extend to 2 a.m. However, after some feedback and talking with the neighborhood, we have brought that back and decided to request the license be extended to 1 a.m. At that point, we received overwhelming support from the Brighton Allston Improvement Association, and we also received support in our abutters meeting, letters of support there. We worked with Connor Newman on this, and we've seen nothing but positivity for it. Reason being for this request is the recent addition to our neighborhood of the Roadrunner music venue and our desire to try to sell 1 round of food after the show ends, which we're closing at midnight. The show ends at 11:30. We don't have quite enough time to do business after the show, but we're looking to try to get people fed after the show because there's no food in that venue. So for those reasons, we're requesting to extend our license to 1 a.m. And to my knowledge, we've had nothing but support.
Thank you, Mr. Gilman. How long have you been operating at this location?
We opened it in this location in November of 2019.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any further questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Not at this time. Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office like to defer judgment to the board. We conducted an abutters meeting on April 5th. Prior to that, a resident reached out to express support for this proposal, saying that Brado has been a great addition to that neighborhood. We did have 2 elderly residents who attended who mentioned some loud noises from pedestrians on their street, and they attributed that to Brado, although it wasn't entirely evident if that was the case, but they expressed some concerns, and as mentioned, Jonathan changed the proposal from 2 a.m. to 1 a.m. partly to address those concerns. And there's also, from my understanding, posted signage within the restaurant reminding folks that they're near a residential neighborhood. They went to the Brighton Allston Improvement Association and received their support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 9, the Parish Cafe, Inc., doing business as the Parish Cafe located at 359 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of officers, directors. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of stock interest. Lastly, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Jeffrey Ullman to Brian Poe. Attorney Peter Pashuko. Attorney Pashuko.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Peter Pashuko here, along with Brian Poe, who's on the Zoom. This is a straightforward change of manager, change of stock percentage. Brian Poe is going to be taking over as manager for Jerry Ullman, who's left the company, and Brian has purchased Jerry's 5% interest in the company. Brian has extensive experience in the restaurant business. He's a citizen of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and he's familiar with the rules and regulations of the licensing board as well as the ABCC.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Poe, for joining us. Just one question. Your attorney said you live in Massachusetts. Are you a resident? Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And other than the change of manager, are there any other operational changes?
No operational changes.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions, commissioners.
No questions. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 10, DA Crossing LLC, doing business as JM Curley, located at 21 to 27 Temple Place. Holder of a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from a restaurant located on the first floor and basement level with one main entrance exit, an additional side exit on the first floor with kitchen and storage in the basement and with a seasonal outdoor patio located on public property with seating for 8 patrons between the hours of 11 a.m. to midnight. 2, Plan 1, a restaurant on 2 floors, first floor consisting of 2 dining areas, 1 dining area with seating for 73, and a bar with seating for 14, and dining area 2 with seating for 31, and restrooms, basement with kitchen storage and small dining room for 10 patrons, and seasonal outdoor patio located on public property with seating for 8 patrons between the hours of 11 a.m. and midnight. Plan 2, a restaurant on 2 floors, first floor consisting of 1 dining area with seating for 73, and a bar with seating for 14, another dining area for private events and restrooms, basement with kitchen storage and small dining room for 10 patrons, and seasonal outdoor patio located on public property with seating for 8 patrons between the hours of 11 a.m. and midnight. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of officer, director, LLC manager, change in ownership interest, and change of stock. Lastly, has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business from JM Curley to JM Curley / Bogey's Place / The Wig Lounge. Attorney Marcy Costa. Attorney Costa.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Attorney Green. Good job with that one.
A lot.
Thank you for having us this morning. I'm joined by Bob Aquina. He is the owner of JM Curley's. One thing I do just want to correct for the record for the change of DBA, it's actually going to be the Wig Shop Lounge, not just the Wig Lounge. So we're here before you today for a few alterations to the current restaurant operation. The first is the alteration of premises. Mr. Bina is extending the space into what used to be the wig shop next door. So this opportunity is for him to extend the restaurant to the space next door. They used to be connected. They share the same address, but they closed up the wall at one point. Now it'll be reopened. It'll expand his seating operation and allow him to have more seating space on a traditional basis, which is the first set of plans that is going to be able to have that seating for 31 in that second dining room. And then the second plan is for Mr. Bina to be able to have events in the space. There won't be any live entertainment added or anything of that nature. It's just to have the extra space for private functions, as well as traditional seating to extend from the restaurant that's currently in place. I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but JM Curly is the front-facing restaurant at the location, with Bogey's Place located as sort of a speakeasy steakhouse in the back. The concept and the food from Bogey's will be continuing over into this new space. And the change of DBA is to add Bogey's Place to the license, as well as this new space, the Wig Shop Lounge. The basement will have seating for 10 people. It's just a small extra dining space, can be a private dining area for a small party. And the change of the ownership is the three owners are staying the same. Mr. Bean has purchased some stock from one of the other owners of the business. And so it's just to make sure that that's all correct on the record, but operationally, nothing will be changing at the location. Mr. Bean has done an extensive amount of community outreach, spoken with all of the neighborhood groups, all of the neighborhood communities, the city councilors, ONS, and has received an overwhelming amount of support for the extension of the space. So we're happy to answer any questions.
Sorry, I was smiling because I went to go look up which way you're extending, and I saw the Wig Shop, which
yeah,
I remember when that was open. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
No questions, thank you.
Not for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Chulan Fong from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant received letters of support from the Midtown Park Plaza Neighborhood Association, the Downtown Bid, and the Downtown Resident Association. At this time, we would like to defer to the judgment of the board.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Yes, good morning, Chairwoman Joyce and members of the board. Doug Meyer with the Downtown Boston Bid. As Chulan noted, we did file a letter of support, and just to reiterate briefly what we said, Babak Bina has been a model operator in the bid area for decades. First with Bina Osteria, and now of course with JM Curly since 2011. We couldn't be more pleased with this proposal. Temple Place is a really significant restaurant row in the bid area, if you will, and JM Curly is one of its anchors. So we really look forward to seeing this happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Calling item 11, MH Liquor LLC, doing business as Flan O'Brien's, located at 1619 Tremont Street in Roxbury. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Mission Hill Hospitality LLC, doing business as Yellow Door Taqueria Mission Hill at the same location. Colleen Haggerty, manager, 1 a.m. closing hour. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Represent Dennis Quilty, representing the applicant. Before you with me this morning is Colleen Haggerty, who I see on screen, the proposed manager of record. This is a straight up corp to corp transfer, no change of location. The site has been a neighborhood bar and restaurant for decades. And is undergoing a change of ownership from the existing licensee, MH Liquor LLC, to the present applicant, Mission Hill Hospitality LLC, which would do business as Yellow Door Taqueria. This would be the third Yellow Door Taqueria.
Yep, that's a third.
Yeah, one in the South End, one in Dorchester, which is the original location. And this would be the third. It's a very, very popular neighborhood establishment where it presently exists. Ms. Haggerty, I believe, and Colleen, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have already been appointed manager in another location?
Yep, I have.
I thought so. So she is clearly a fit for this role. We have had extensive community outreach. We've had meetings with Mission Hill Neighborhood Housing Services, Mission Hill Main Streets, and the Community Alliance of Mission Hill, all three of which I believe are on record with letters of support. We were in touch with the district city councilor and the mayor's office of neighborhood services, given our extensive outreach. I don't believe we have any opposition as we appear in front of you. Ms. Haggerty is a pre-existing manager of record. And other than that, no changes of operations, hours, size, capacity, et cetera. With that's it. Sorry. And certainly we're here, happy to answer any questions you might have.
What is the capacity at this location? How many seats are inside?
Ooh.
I
Colleen?
believe it's 90.
Yeah, you know what, it hasn't been changed. Oh, I apologize. I don't have the full file in front of me.
Oh, that's
But
okay.
There'd be no change, no increase of capacity in any respect.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Curran, do you, or Commissioner Saxon?
I do not, thank you.
Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 12, Pursuit Inc., doing business as the Walrus and Carpenter, located at 200 Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to the Oyster Bar Inc., doing business as the Walrus and Carpenter at the same location. Sergio Luis Goncalves, manager, 1 a.m. closing hour. Attorney Adam Barnoski. Attorney Barnoski.
Thank you. Good morning, Attorney Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Adam Barnoski with Roberto Israel and Weiner, 255 State Street in Boston. I'm here on behalf of the Oyster Bar Inc. With me is Sergio Goncalves and Andre Ornelas. Sergio is the proposed manager of record, and the two are the proposed owners of the establishment. This is a same location restaurant transfer, license transfer. There's no changes to the hours of operation, to the seating, or to the cuisine. The license premises is located in the Faneuil Hall Marketplace. There's seating for 16, occupancy for 35. There's a closing hour of 1 a.m., although this operation generally closes in tandem with the marketplace, and the current hours of operation functionally are 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and then 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. Sergio is the proposed manager of record. He's well versed with the restaurant industry as well as this location. He's owned and operated the Boston Main and Fish Company since the 1990s. We did appear before the Wharf District Council in this application and have that organization's support. I did want to note that the Oyster Bar Inc., which is the proposed owner, does plan to open at this location on June 1st, subject to the approval of the board. They are seeking to have the CV license and the alcoholic beverage license approved and issued accordingly. So they have their CV license approved, open, and then assuming the beverage license is approved by the ABCC, they would then operate their beer and wine license then. Happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Attorney Barnoski. Sergio, have you been approved as a manager of record by this board before? Or no? He's on mute.
It's
I'm going to
Sergio,
ask you
you're
to
muted.
unmute.
Here you go.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Hear me? Okay, sorry. No, the legal license that we have of the Boston Main is under my partner's name, is Andre Ornelas.
Okay.
So this one is the first one on my name.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the 4 questions we ask any applicant for a manager of record that comes before us. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes,
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
yes,
Your attorney described your experience. Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I have no further questions. Commissioners, do you?
No questions, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling
Thank
item
you.
number 13, VJP LLC, doing business as The Wine Cave, located at 71 to 75 Canal Street. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Massachusetts Package Store LLC, doing business as The Wine Cave at the same location. Slater Hurst manager, closing hour 11 p.m. Attorney Andrew Upton. Attorney Upton.
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Upton for the applicant. With me is Slater Hurst, the proposed manager of record. This is a corp-to-corp changeover at the same location. There has been a liquor store here for many years. It has been closed for approximately the past 2 years. So this applicant is going to attempt to revitalize it. The landlord is happy with this new tenant because it's been a dark storefront. Slater Hurst is a U.S. citizen. He's a Mass resident. He has experience as a bartender and a wine buyer. He lives in Milton, Massachusetts. And those are basically the facts of the application. I would like to mention that we've had discussions with the Downtown North Association. We have agreed not to sell any nips at retail, although we've reserved the right to ship and deliver them. We've also agreed not to sell any mass market singles over 16 ounces and not to sell any malt liquors. But other than that, it's going to be the new liquor store opening at the same location, and we're glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney Upton. Mr. Hurst, your attorney covered the first 3 questions for the manager of record. The 4th question is, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. And the closing hour is going to be 11 p.m., is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
None at this time. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I see a hand raised from Jay Walsh. You may testify.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jay Walsh on behalf of the Downtown North Association. Just to confirm what Attorney Upton had mentioned, we did have a conversation regarding a condition of no nips or singles at this location, where I'm happy that they've agreed to that condition, and they're enthusiastic about getting competent management into this location. It has been problematic in the past, so we would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And I do believe we've actually been joined by a representative from J. Pace and Son. Is that correct? Is anybody here present for J. Pace and Son?
Yes, I am.
Great, thank you. We will quickly move back. Yep, thank you very much for that. We'll go back to items number 2 and 3. Once again, this is J. Pace and Son Central Inc., doing business as J. Pace and Son at 75 Blossom Court, and J. Pace and Son Uptown Inc., doing business as J. Pace and Son Waterfront at 1 Park Lane, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Joseph F. Pace to Cara Pace, who is present on behalf of the licensee.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Can you just identify
I
yourself,
am.
please?
Hi. I'm sorry?
Thank you. Yep, you are Cara.
Yes.
He just asked you to identify yourself, but I interrupted him, so my apologies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I am Cara.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the 4 manager of record questions we ask everyone who appears before us applying to be a manager of record. Are you a citizen?
Yes, I am.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes, I am.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yes, I do.
Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other changes other than the manager record?
No, not
Okay,
notice.
thanks.
Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran, do you have any questions about these transactions?
None for me, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. I just want to ask if there is anybody who would like to testify on items number 2 and 3, beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on these matters? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you for being with us this morning, Ms. Pache.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, we will now resume with item number 14. Bucciolati Inc. doing business as Mama Maria's located at 3 North Square. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Bucciolati LLC doing business as Mama Maria at the same location. Ruben Maciel, manager, closing hour 12 a.m. Secondly, has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from side exit for emergency and stock leading to unnumbered exit on Garden Street in 1 room and kitchen on first floor, 1 room on second floor, capacity breakdown first floor 48, second floor 28, to 4 floors to be licensed consisting of first floor with 3 rooms, 2 dining areas and kitchen, bathroom and common areas, second floor with 4 rooms, 4 dining areas, bathrooms and common areas, third floor with 1 room administrative and common area, and basement with 3 rooms, kitchen, service area, and storage and bathroom. Premises include 1 entrance and exit from North Square, 1 entrance and exit on Garden Court Street that is handicap accessible, and 1 side exit for emergencies and stock on Garden Court Street. Seating capacity of 32 on first floor and 57 on second floor. Mama Maria is a longstanding Italian restaurant located in a 19th century row house in the North End. Attorney Brent McDonald. Attorney McDonald.
Good morning, all. Brent McDonald, Nutter McLennan and Fish, 155 Seaport Boulevard in Boston, representing Bucciolati LLC. We're here today primarily to seek approval of an interfamily transfer of the all alcohol 7-day CV license from Bucciolati Incorporated to Bucciolati LLC for the premises at 3 North Square. There is no change of location. Just by way of background, the sole shareholder of Bucciolati Incorporated was John McGee. Mr. McGee passed away, and we're seeking approval to transfer the license to Bucciolati LLC, whose sole members are 2 trusts established under the will of John McGee for the benefit of his wife, Lila Haddad, and his daughters, Zoe and Phoebe McGee. Trustees of the 2 trusts are Joseph Ayuk, who is here with us today, H. David Henkin, and Lila Haddad. And as noted, the beneficiaries of the trust are John McGee's wife, Lila Haddad, and his 2 daughters, Zoe and Phoebe. In addition, we're seeking to alter the license premise at North Square, as Attorney Green just indicated in reading the notice. The restaurant occupies, and it's my understanding, the restaurant has always occupied the entire building at 3 North Square. However, previously only the first and second floors were licensed, which is where diners eat, where all the tables and chairs are. We're seeking to include the basement area, which includes a portion of the kitchen and storage and bathrooms, and the 3rd floor, which includes storage and administrative office. Dining rooms are still going to be on the 1st and 2nd floor. We're also seeking to increase the seating area from 76 seats to 89 seats. As noted, they will still be on the 1st and 2nd floor. We do not need to do any construction. We'll just be rearranging the tables and chairs to accommodate this. We did want to note that there aren't any life safety concerns from the increase in the seating area, as we've already obtained place of assembly permit from the fire department and a certificate of inspection from inspectional services for 95 persons within this, and we're seeking to go to 89 seats. Finally, we're asking to modify the manager of record from the deceased John McGee to Ruben Maciel, who is with us here today. As noted in our application materials, Ruben has a long history in the food service industry and the sale and service of alcohol. He is tip certified, a citizen of the United States, a resident of the Commonwealth of Melrose, and he is familiar with the applicable statutes governing the sale and service of alcohol and the rules and regulations of both the ABCC and this board. We are not proposing any other changes to the restaurant. It's going to continue to operate with the same food and beverage options, the same atmosphere and experience for the customers with the same hours. Did want to note we did go through a public process. We reached out to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, which declined to host the public meeting, but did request that we reach out to both the North End Waterfront Residents Association and the North End Waterfront Neighborhood Council. We reached out to both organizations on February 7th. NURA did indicate they wanted to meet with us, and we appeared before them on April 26th, and we understand a letter has been submitted from NURA to this board. Joseph Ayu, Ruben Maciel, and I are all available to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Attorney McDonald. You answered all of my questions that I had. At this time, I don't have any further questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
No questions, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Sarah D'Amico from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. They have gone in front of the civic associations for the North End and have received a letter of support from NURA. At this time, our office would like to defer to the board's judgment. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Calling item number, thank you. Calling item number 15, LRTB LLC, doing business as Little Rose Taco Bar, located at 150 State Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Apex Bar and Lounge, Inc., doing business as Apex Bar and Lounge at the same location. Tito Jackson, manager, closing hour 2 a.m. Secondly, has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed premise from on basement, first floor, second floor, and roof deck of 7-story building, including one basement, including kitchen and storage, first floor restaurant, including indoor bar and dining seating for 30, second floor restaurant, including dining seating for 30, and roof deck restaurant, including outdoor dining seating for 30, main entrance and exit on State Street, 9 additional exits at rear of building. 2, approximately 2,013 square feet located on the 6th and 7th floor of a 7-floor building. Both floors accessed via staffed elevator directly into licensed premise. Main entrance to building located on State Street. 6th floor, approximately 1,012 square feet with approximately 625 square feet of dining and service area with bathroom. Seating area for approximately 32 patrons. 1 dedicated stairway in addition to elevator. 7th floor, approximately 1,001 square feet with approximately 614 square feet of dining and service area with bathroom. Seating area for approximately 30 patrons, open air roof deck located on 7th floor. Closing hour 2 a.m. 1 dedicated stairway in addition to elevator. Thirdly, has petitioned to change the license type from a Section 12 restaurant all alcoholic beverages license to a Section 12 club all alcoholic beverages license. And lastly, has petitioned to pledge the license to the Robert Weintraub Trust. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I am. Good morning, Attorney Green. This is Attorney Mike Ross from the law firm of Prince Lobel. Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. With me today is Tito Jackson, the proposed owner and manager of record. The application before you, as just mentioned, is a transfer of the existing license located at 150 State Street, the alteration of the premise, change of license type, and pledge of the license. Mr. Jackson is proposing a sophisticated high-end lounge at this location with a seating capacity of approximately 62 patrons and proposed operating hours between 5 p.m. and 2 a.m. As the board is aware, the existing license was exercised on the 1st, 2nd, and 7th floors of this building, and we are now requesting to move the license solely to the 6th and 7th floors of the buildings. We are requesting to change the license type, as mentioned, from CV 7-day all alcohol beverage to club all alcohol beverage. There is no on-site kitchen at the license premise, and we are exploring potential partnerships with area restaurants to provide food services to our patrons. We are requesting a pledge, as mentioned, of the license to the Robert Weintraub Trust as collateral for the promissory note associated with the purchase of the license. Tito is the proposed manager of record at this time. He is a U.S. citizen, a resident of the Commonwealth, has experience in the food and beverage industry, and is familiar with the rules and regulations of the board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol. We do anticipate identifying a separate manager of record prior to commencing operations. And of course, we'll file an application with the board for the same once that individual has been selected. However, Mr. Jackson will be on site at the licensed premise frequently. Before I provide an overview of our service and operations, I wanted to just ask Tito if he could briefly speak to discuss the concept of the space.
Thank you very much, Michael. I also want to thank you, Madam Chair, as well as this august board of individuals. We are moving forward with this transfer of the license that pre-existed with a restaurant that was previously called Kamakura. I do want to be very transparent that this is a multi-tenanted building. On the 1st through 5th floor is a licensed cannabis operation. And so I'd like to kind of first walk you through the concept. So the basement actually does have a kitchen, but it will be used and it's actually licensed for cannabis manufacturing. The first floor will be used on the cannabis front for those individuals who ordered online. The second floor is a space for those individuals who have not ordered online, typical experience there. And then 4th and 5th floor are administrative floors. This is a separate company, a separate entity, which will operate on the 6th and 7th floor. One of the good crossovers is that this whole building actually has an access system that requires individuals to actually use a fob or a key card system to move around. So when an individual, and we will actually have 2 separate folks at the front door, one for the cannabis establishment and one for the alcohol establishment. When you walk into the first hallway, the cannabis establishment actually starts inside the door on your left. To get to this establishment, you would walk down the hallway. You take a left and you would then be at the elevator. The elevator to get to any floor other than the first floor requires an individual to have a key card or to have a key card. So that precludes individuals from going to any of the other floors. So we will also have another security person at that point. And then in addition, we will have a security person who will then ID individuals at the 6th or 7th floor. The concept is, as Mike said, a high-end bar and lounge that will I think do a really good job at representing the culture and feel of the city of Boston and add additional flavor to the Faneuil Hall area. I do believe that we will be the first Black-owned liquor license in the Faneuil Hall area, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that we will be the first Black-owned hospitality business in that space. So we really look forward to be forward-facing and represent the city well. We have connected with the Wharf District Council as well as neighbors and members of the community, and really looking forward to opening up and being a beacon for the city of Boston. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them.
I just had a couple other quick comments. Tito pretty much covered it all, but just to reiterate, Tito has the ownership interest in both the cannabis establishment and this establishment. Does understand that safety and security of utmost importance. The staff will be background checked and certified in tips. There will also be signage posted in both facilities that forbids any kind of consumption of cannabis within the entire facility. Should any patron do so, they will be banned from both establishments. We will be submitting a copy of our security operations for your review. We have, as Tito mentioned, conducted an extensive community process. We were very proud to have the written support of the Wharf District Council, which we provided to the board. Although this is a transfer of the same location, we did want to just put out the public need, given the uniqueness of this proposal. Downtown is home to many restaurants and bars. This concept differs from many of those restaurants and bars. It's a small space, it's an intimate space. As Tito mentioned, it is one of the rare spaces that will be owned by a Black or brown individual in this area. It's a great opportunity in that regard. I would also just respectfully submit that there is no question of Mr. Jackson's character and fitness to own and operate this establishment. With that, I will turn it over to the board for any questions. Thank you.
Mike, can I just follow up on one thing?
Yes, please.
The conversion to the club license also means that we will never have to have anyone under the age of 21 inside the building. So that is from a security perspective is something that we actually are really adamant about. So we don't actually have to deal with the same issues that a regular restaurant with a 7-day CV would deal with. Thank you.
So just to clarify, the whole building right now is cannabis use, correct? You're gonna have to change that.
So it's a 7-story building. Floors basement through 5 will be cannabis.
Will be,
Floors
but right now the whole building is correct.
Oh, yes, that's correct. I'm sorry, Madam Chair, you're correct. We will be, we did not handle the transaction as attorneys for the applicant, but his attorneys for the cannabis dispensary will be going back and removing floors 6 and 7 from the premises. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, and is the goal or mission of this business to eventually have social consumption upstairs in the club? Once that's approved in the city of Boston? Is that what you're getting ready for?
Do you want to answer that?
Yes, I would. At this point, it has passed the Senate as well as passed the House. It would obviously be up to the council as well as the mayor to bring that on board. We would love to have that.
Is that your businthis plan? I'm putting on both hats right now, cannabis chair and licensing.
Yes, no, I understand. We would love that. We would actually obviously have to move the license out of the space, but we would begin to, and actually the other piece, Madam Chair, would be it would actually be contingent on how that is implemented, because the current rules at the state would actually mean that it would not be economically viable. So upon changes, it is something that we would definitely consider.
Okay, so let me just get through a couple more questions, Attorney Ross. So it's a club license. You're talking about security at the front door. So you'll have a separate security assigned to the cannabis establishment and then a separate security assigned to the club?
That's correct.
And when, so it's a club, so who checks the member list?
Well,
how's that gonna go?
Yeah, so it's not a private club. It's open to the public.
It's open to the public?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So we're
So
not.
you made a statement that there's no way someone could purchase cannabis on the first floor and then consume it on the top floor right now. What are your safety measures that you're putting into place for that?
So there are signage in both locations. There's secured entrance to both locations. It's a small venue. We're talking about, I think 62 seats as proposed.
It's not that small. How many security guards upstairs in the club?
So we have 3 all day. There's 2 for the club for Apex. Let's call it Apex. There's 1 at the front door and there's 1 in the elevator. There's also every bartender or server will also be checking IDs as well. So there's really 3 points of interaction with customers as they are in the Apex.
So are you outsourcing security, or explain that to me? This is a neighborhood in the city of Boston where we've taken a real closer look at security and operations in the past couple of months. This board takes that very seriously. Who is doing security? What is that company? And please tell me some more about your security and operations plan.
So, Madam Chair, we are not going to be outsourcing it. We will actually have those individuals as staff members. We will be putting our security through the same background check with CSI that we do for the cannabis side. We have a relationship with CSI, and the objective, and I would submit to you, Madam Chair, that we actually have probably the highest burden here relative to the fact that there are two licenses. And so the issue of making sure that individuals are acting accordingly and respecting the community, as noted in the cannabis side, we have a check of 3 ID checks, as well as we have a contract with the community, as you know, relative to individuals who overstep boundaries there. They're not allowed to be served. But as noted, all of our staff will be trained, and if they see anyone participating in the consumption of cannabis, those individuals will be asked to leave, and they will also not be allowed back on the premise.
So other than the elevator at the front of the building, is there any other way that people can get between floors?
Everything will be secured access. So there is a stairwell that was mentioned in the back that would be for, deliveries and personnel. That stairwell will not be available or open to the public.
And Madam Chair, there are the cannabis level access points at every single floor. In addition, we just installed 58 cameras all throughout the building, including in the stairwells. So we at all times will have eyes on the facility. At night, we also have motion sensors, and we also have panic buttons in the building.
I'm concerned, so that door that's manned from the club at the back that you're describing, is it a secured door or is it just manned by a security officer? It's a lock. I'm just concerned of what precautions are in place to prevent patrons who have a drink going down to the cannabis establishment or vice versa. What does that security look like? Is it humans or is it a security lock?
It's a security lock door that requires a fob to open.
Okay.
So any individual would be required to have a fob to open. And there, as noted, there are 2 stairwells. One stairwell is actually really considered back of house, and we don't allow any patrons. And then we also have the front stairwell that is technically common area, but the primary means of going up to the 6th and 7th floor is the elevator. And there's also a camera inside the elevator.
Okay, and the roof deck has seating for 30 people, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, approximately.
Okay, I don't have any further questions at this time. Commissioner Curran, do you, or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Not at this time, thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi there, Jacob DeBlakecourt from Councilor Mejia's office would like to go on record in support of this proposal. Thanks very much.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. I see a bunch of hands raised for general testimony. I'll just ask one more time. Were there any other elected officials or their representatives who would like to testify before we move to general testimony? Okay, the first hand I see raised is from a Jennifer Joe. I'm going to ask you to unmute and you may please speak.
Thank you for allowing me to be here today. I'm here in support of Tito Jackson. I'm Jennifer Joe, a 10-year resident of Boston and also an emergency room physician practicing at the Boston VA healthcare system for the last 10 years, which also includes the inpatient and outpatient detox. Additionally, I'm a small business owner. Having known Tito Jackson for the last 4 years, I can with full confidence testify that Mr. Jackson is one of the most caring, supportive, and responsible business owners I have ever met. He has been a personal inspiration for me. In the last few years, I have specifically helped him with his business plan and vision for elevating the Boston community by bringing diverse people together in an inspirational space for cultural exchange. If there's any time that America needs inspirational community rebuilding, it is now, and I am fully in support of this liquor license transfer.
Thank you very much. The next hand I see raised is from Nia Grace. Ms. Grace, I'm going to ask you to unmute as well. Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Nia Grace, as stated, founding member of the Black Hospitality Coalition and operating a restaurant tour in the city of Boston, a Roxbury resident with a home and residence in District 7, which was formerly governed by Tito Jackson, and a hopeful and excited new patron of Apex Bar and Lounge. After the last few years, I'm super inspired by not only the resilience of our industry, but by the courage of entrepreneurs who are looking to start and grow in this space. And as a loyal patron of Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen, as well as a friend, Tito has had a first row seat to our experiences over the years, and he understands the challenges and opportunities ahead. I see Apex Bar and Lounge as an extreme public benefit for the city of Boston, not only in terms of local economic empowerment, but also an added attraction for tourism. And as the city continues to develop and nurture new and innovative ideas, a venue such as this with its unique amenities would be a welcome addition. And I am testifying in full support of Tito Jackson and his vision for Apex Bar and Lounge. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The next hand I see raised is from Virginia Benson. You may go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Oh, good morning. My name is Virginia Benson. I'm an attorney and I'm also a Boston resident. I've been a Boston resident for almost 18 years. And it's my honor and pleasure to offer a personal reference, character reference for Tito Jackson. I've known him for nearly 30 years, which I almost can't believe myself. And in those 30 years, I've known him not to conduct himself with integrity and principle. And I hear your concerns about safety, and I have to say that, you know, as a public servant, Tito has shown nothing but concern for public interest, public safety, our youth. He's now on the commission for, I'm probably not going to remember the title correctly, but for the Black Men's Youth Commission. So he's shown a history of being concerned about health, safety, and so I think his fitness to run this establishment with integrity, with principle, and to be an upstanding business owner, he has a record of that in his professional life and in his public service. So I know there are a lot of hands raised, but it's my pleasure. I think, you know, I want to support this transfer of the license, and I think on the 2-year anniversary of George Floyd, when the country is saying that there's this racial reckoning, the fact that Black men have not, or Black people have not received, I think he would be the 10th to receive a full license. This is an opportunity for this council to sort of to redress some of the past discriminatory practices that have thwarted the advancement and economic advancements of people of color in the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next hand I see raised is from JB. I'm going to ask you to unmute and please identify yourself and you may testify.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Justin Brown, and I've had the pleasure of not only working with Tito, but actually knowing him my whole life. And I'm in full support of his leadership, his counsel, and Apex Bar and Lounge. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next hand I see raised is from Maria Fernandez. I'm going to ask you to unmute as well. Here you go.
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman, members of the Commission. My name is Maria Fernandez, a resident of Dorchester, a homeowner in Roxbury, a mom, a racial equity consultant, and an employee of Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I am here, excuse me, I have COVID-19, and so I am here in support of Mr. Tito Jackson and this development of Boston's only Black-owned rooftop bar and lounge. As has been said before, this is history in the making, and this is time for this commission in this city to make well on its promises of economic development and prosperity for the residents, Black and Brown residents of Boston. I have known Tito for 20 years. And in that time, I have known him to be a stellar community leader, a responsible business leader, and an all-around good person. So I echo everything that has been said, and I want to be in testimony of his good character and in support of this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you. I see another hand raised from Nichelle Sadler. I'm going to ask you to unmute as well.
Hi, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Nichelle Sadler. I am a lifelong resident of the South End and Roxbury, and I am here today in support of Tito Jackson. Full disclosure, I am his former chief of staff. And as Virginia stated, I can attest to his commitment to the safety and well-being of the residents of Boston. But I'm also just really excited about having a Black-owned establishment in the Faneuil Hall area. I often have families, friends, and many times colleagues that are seeking out Black-owned establishments, but that are staying in the Faneuil Hall area during their visit here to Boston. And, often there's no choice, and, folks have to travel across the city to enjoy a beverage at a Black-owned establishment. And I just think that having this establishment approved will just give tourists more options. So I'm happy to be here in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the last hand I see raised is from Doug Chavez. I'm going to ask you to unmute as well. Here you go.
Thank you, and I'm sorry I'm on Harvard's campus for Harvard ceremony, so excuse me for the surrounding noise, but I'm here to testify on behalf of Tito Jackson, a friend of mine and former colleague in former Governor Deval Patrick's administration. I've known Tito for 17 years. I've known him to be an upstanding individual, a great leader, someone that many look up to, and I think he is as prepared as anyone to lead such establishment and make history in the Faneuil Hall area. I think he is the perfect person to lead such establishment and is responsible to lead the success of the establishment. So I support Tito, and I hope the board supports him as well and makes history supporting this Black establishment that is much needed in the city of Boston. And I'm also a lifelong resident, last 17-year resident of Hyde Park and East Boston. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. I see another hand raised from Eldon Villafane.
Good morning, Chairwoman and board members. I am so excited about this opportunity that we have before us. I've known Tito Jackson for the past, I would say maybe on and off like 15 years or so, as someone who has went to a Boston public schools, raised in Boston, the historical moment of an area that I grew up passing by and seeing tourists in that area of Faneuil Hall. It's touching, and it's very moving for me as a Latino and someone who has worked in business, who is in business, whose family has a historical connection with the city of Boston. My father, growing up and working very closely with Reverend Michael Haynes at the 12th Baptist Church and creating something that was a Black and brown for ministers, and then my seeing this and witnessing leaders in the city of Boston, how they move. And I've known Tito Jackson to be someone of such character, and most moved by the time during that period during Black Lives Matter and the movement here, and how he entered the space working with police officers and with the community to maintain peace was something that was moving to me. And another, now this historical moment where we have the opportunity to bring someone in a leadership position and an ownership position such as Tito is moving to me to see this, again, having grown up and being a resident of the city of Boston for most of my life. So I completely support Tito and especially his character. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next hand raised is from Tawanya Garrett. Ms. Garrett, I will ask you to unmute.
Good morning and thank you. I just wanted to echo similar sentiments as everyone already has about Tito Jackson. Tito and I have been friends for over 30 years. He's been an amazing individual, an awesome mentor to young men and women of color in the city of Boston. He's been committed to the city for probably since he was born, and not just to the Black and brown community, but the city as a whole. And I just see this as a next step in which he is uplifting the city of Boston and continuing to lead for our young people of color and seeing what is possible here. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who has not yet testified who wished to do so? Great, I'll just turn it back briefly to see if the board has any further questions.
Thanks, Danny. Mr. Jackson, Attorney Ross, if you could just submit in writing to the board your operations plan, because the club license cannot be open to the public. It can only be open to members of the club and their guests. So you're going to have to come up with a plan about how security is going to ensure that you're complying. That's an ABCC rule. So please submit that in writing to us so that we have, as a board, have a better understanding that you understand what the rules and responsibilities are that come with the club license.
Yes, we will do so.
Thank you. And with that, the board will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling item number 16, Hopsters LLC, doing business as Hopsters, located at 51 Sleeper Street. Holder of a common victual or 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to DW Cafe Corporation, doing business as DW Cafe, located at 23B Basement Hudson Street. The premises consists of basement level with 1,200 square feet, one front entrance and one rear exit, dining area, seating capacity of 22 at the front with kitchen at the rear, 2 restrooms between the dining area and the kitchen. Christina Tran Guan, manager, closing hour 11 p.m. Attorney Kai-Young Wong. Attorney Wong.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, the member of the board. Thank you very much for having us today. Kai-Young Wong representing DW Cafe Corporation, Sassoon Simrod Law LLC, 84 State Street, Boston. Yes, we are applying for this change of location and the transfer of the license and change of managers. I have here is Mr. B.Wei Kwan. He's the owner of the DW Cafe Corporation, and the proposed manager, Christina Kwan, as a husband and wife team. Here today with us in the Zoom. And Christina Kwan, the proposed manager, she's a U.S. citizen, resident of Massachusetts, and she's tip certified, and she's familiar with the rules and regulations of the board and also the ABCC and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts pertaining to the sale and services of alcohol. And as a matter of fact, my client and I and the same proposed manager, we were in front of this board last September 2021 for a CV license and a liquor license, for a new liquor license, and the CV was granted, but the liquor license was denied without prejudice because of nothing was available. And this time my client is purchasing a existing license from Hopster. So we are back in front of the board, and we redid the community outreach, and so here we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Christina here?
Yes. Christina?
I don't see her on my screen. If she just speaks up, she'll pop up on my screen.
Hi, this is Christina.
Hi, Christina. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Your attorney covered the manager record questions, and I believe we covered public need the last time you appeared before us. I don't have any other questions at this point. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Not this time. Thank you.
No questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Chulan Fong from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has received 2 letters of support from 2 direct abutters, along with a letter of support from the Chinatown Neighborhood Council. However, they did receive a letter of opposition from 1 direct abutter as well. At this time, I would like to defer to the judgment of the board.
Good morning, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
This is Andrew Lazat on behalf of Stephen Dar, the Chapter 7 trustee. I just wanted to point out for the record that Hopsters is in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy case. Liquor license is an asset of the bankruptcy estate, and the United States Bankruptcy Court has authorized this sale. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Calling item number 17, 100% Delicias Food Corporation located at 635 Hyde Park Ave in Hyde Park. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Jumbo Oriental LLC, doing business as Jumbo Seafood, located at 5 Hudson Street. Premise consists of 2,700 square feet, first floor restaurant with a basement for storage, separate dining area, seating for 49, 2 restrooms. Kenneth Long, manager, closing hour 2 a.m. And for the record, the board has already found public need for a license for this applicant at this location. The matter before the board today is just approving this transfer. Attorney Russell Chin. Attorney Chin.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners and Attorney Green. My name is Attorney Russell Chin, Chin Law Firm, 400 Hancock Street in Quincy, Massachusetts. I'm here representing the Jumbo Oriental LLC with respect to this application for the transfer of a malt and wine license to a new location, 5 Hudson Street in Boston. I'm joined today by Mr. Ken Long. He is the manager. Mr. Long is a United States citizen. He is a citizen, he's a resident of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. He has several decades of experience operating restaurants and serving alcohol. He is tip certified. He is also very familiar with the rules and regulations of the ABCC, this board, and the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
I do not, thank you.
I do not either. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning. Good morning. This is Chulan Huang from the Mayor's Office of Labor Services. At this time, we would like to defer to the judgment of the board. This applicant has support from the Chinatown Neighborhood Council and the Can I just defer to the judgment of the board?
Absolutely. Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Good morning, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Fling's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? The board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item number 18 has already been granted by the board. It is only on today's agenda as they needed to correct a legal defect in their notice. But otherwise, number 18 has already been granted. Calling item number 19, 1625 Exchange Inc., doing business as the Ginger Exchange, located at 1625 Tremont Street in Roxbury. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Dailongi Hot Pot Inc., doing business as Dailongi Hot Pot, located at 14 Hudson Street. Premises consist of a full-service Oriental hot pot restaurant on the location of 14 Hudson Street to 2,500 square feet with seating capacity of 99. Restaurant business will be operating on the first floor of location fronting on 14 Hudson Street with dining room and kitchen sections and a basement for storage and food preparation. Lee Min Chen, manager, closing hour 2 a.m. Attorney Chung Lee. Attorney Lee.
Yes, hi, good morning, Attorney Green, Madam Chairman, and the members of the board. My name is Chung Lee. I'm counsel for the corporate applicant Dailongi Hot Pot Inc. My address is 31 Milk Street, Suite 818 in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, and we're here this morning asking this board to approve the transfer of a previous license operating with 1625 Exchange over on Tremont Street over to the restaurant location at 14 Hudson Street over in Boston, Massachusetts. This is the location which previously housed an Oriental restaurant before. It has since gone out of business for the last 6 or 7 years, I believe, at least. But in any event, my client is hoping to revitalize that area by reopening up a new hot pot restaurant on that property. The liquor license is for wine and malt, 7-day wine and malt CV with cordials and liquor. The manager of record will be Mr. Lee Ming Chen, who is on in this meeting, I believe, by Zoom. He is currently working with Great Taste Bakery and Restaurant over in 63 Beach Street as manager. Great Taste Bakery and Restaurant also has liquor license, and through this experience with Great Taste for the past 10, 11 years, Mr. Chen has substantial familiarity and understanding of the rules and regulations of this board, ABCC, and Commonwealth of Massachusetts as they relate to the sale and service of liquor. Mr. Chen is a citizen of the United States, and he is a resident of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as he lives in Newton, Massachusetts. The restaurant operating hours, as we listed on the application, is from 7 days from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. We met with the two neighborhood groups, the Chinatown Safety Commission on February the 2nd, as well as the Chinatown Neighborhood Commission over on around February the 22nd. We've met with approvals on both of them, but however, subsequent meeting conversations with the neighborhood Councilor Flynn's office indicated that there might have been some discomfort in that area with a 2 a.m. closing period. As a result, I've consulted with my client. We are asking this board to amend the closing time 7 days from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Midnight to accommodate for any discomfort in the neighborhood. I have talked to my client about that, and they are agreeable with it. We've also asked that this board amend the application to show a 14A as opposed to 14 Hudson Street, as this is a multi-residential and commercial area, and the 14A would denote the ground floor as opposed to the upper, second, third, and fourth floors. So I would ask this board to please amend the application. And the last amendment I would request this board do on the application on the DBA to change it from the Dailongi Hot Pot Restaurant to the Dynasty Restaurant. Again, this was done subsequent to the submission of the application, and I apologize for any inconvenience caused to the board by this request. So basically, this is it. This is what we're asking for. To transfer a license with a CV 7-day operating at 14A Hudson Street. Thank you very much, and we'll be happy to entertain any questions from the board.
Is Mr. Chen on the call? I don't see him.
He should be on the call, yes. Ken? Hello?
We don't see him.
Unless he got disconnected. He was on the call before. I was talking to him on the phone.
Okay, what I'll do is if you could find a way of getting in touch with him and asking him to rejoin us, we can ask him the manager of record questions. You actually covered the 3, but I'd like to ask him whether or not he's familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth, but he needs to appear before us before we can swear him in as a manager of record. If you could find him before the end of the hearing, we'll come back to you. But
Madam Chairman, I did mention about the rules and regulations. I believe I indicated that as well, but at your request, I can get him back on the phone.
He has to be present.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so
you want me to put this on hold and try to contact him to get him back online to this hearing, please?
Yeah, we'll do that. So then I'll wait and ask my questions if we can reconnect with Mr. Chen.
Okay, so I'll put myself on mute. I'll get on the other line to get him to get back on. And when I get back to this meeting, wait for a pause and I'll interject and we're back. Is that
Okay,
okay?
we're going to move
Madam
on to
Chairman?
we're going to move on to the next agenda item.
All right.
Hang on, before that,
Thank you very much.
Attorney Lee, you had mentioned a couple of
Yes.
changes to the app, to what is listed in the notice. Have you submitted an application reflecting those changes, including the change DBA and the changed address?
No, we have not, but I will certainly work with Maria to submit the amended application before the decision is made by this board.
Okay, thank you. And are there any questions at this time from other members of the board, or do Chairman Joyce, do you want to hold until we can get Mr. Chen on the line?
I think we should hold and move on.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairman.
thank you. We will come back to this item. Calling item number 20, Duarte Corp. Doing business as Taranta, located at 210 Hanover Street. Holder of a common victual or 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Shin Hakata Ramen Corp. Doing business as Hakata Ramen, located at 173 Massachusetts Avenue. Premises consist of a total of 2,000 square feet space with dining area seating for 48, kitchen and 2 bathrooms on the street level, storage in the half basement. Xiao Dan Liu, manager, closing hour 2 a.m. Attorney Wei Jia. Attorney Jia.
Good morning, Madam Chair and the member of the board. My name is Wei Jia, attorney for Shin Hakata Corporation, and my office at the 145 Tremont Street, Boston. And before the board is a transfer application, wine and the malt, and a change of location application. And this business, the applicant is located at 173 Mass Ave, has been there since 2016. And right now, with the purchase of this license, they have this application pending. Xiao Dan Liu is the purpose of the manager, is the 100% shareholder of the corporation. And she is a United States citizen and a resident of Massachusetts. She used to work as a manager for a different company and recently moved to work for this corporation and as a shareholder, of course. And frankly, she has no prior experience with the liquor liquor service. And for that, we have provided her with the regulations and the Massachusetts laws for her to study. It has been several weeks since after we submit this application for her to study. So hopefully she has mastered some of those content, the laws and regulations. And after before the submission of the application, we have reached out to the neighborhood committee, including Fenway Civic Association and Audubon Civic Circle Neighborhood Association. We also had a partisan meeting on May 10. And unfortunately, no one attended about this meeting for some reason, I don't know. But in any event, that's what we have here. And we are happy to respond to questions the board might have.
Is Miss Liu here?
Yes.
Yes, it's Xiao Liu. How are you?
Good, how are you? Have you familiarized yourself with the rules and regulations of the ABCC, the board, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol? As your attorney said, are you familiar with them? It's not a test, we just have to ask you that question.
Yes.
He said he hoped you familiarized yourself, so I just need a yes or a no, but hopefully it's a yes. Okay, thank you. Let me see. So this is going to be, you said there was a previous license at this location. Is that correct, attorney?
No, we purchased this license from Duarte Corporation. I believe that was operating in North End, Hanover Street.
Yes, but you said that this place had operated in the past, but it's been closed for a while?
This place has been in operation by this company since 2016 as a ramen restaurant.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, I don't have any questions at this time. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Do not, thank you.
I do not, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer judgment to the board. Some background information in the community process, as the attorney mentioned, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services held an abutters meeting on May 10th. No concerns were raised at that meeting. The applicant also reached out to the Fenway Civic Group, who said that a formal meeting was not required with them since the business has long been established in the area. With that, we defer back to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Attorney Green, Mr. Green is back on the internet, on the Zoom meeting.
Okay, if you could wait, we're gonna move on to some of the other applications, if you don't mind waiting.
Sorry, that was Mr. Chen is with us?
Yes,
Yeah.
Attorney Green, I believe Mr. Chen is back. Sorry to
This is Liman Chen.
We're
Okay,
gonna move on to the other applications.
okay,
If you
great.
don't mind holding.
Thank you. We'll take a second
Liman
call.
Chen.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to ask you to be on mute right now. We will come back to this item in a few. Okay, calling item number 21, E2 Seaport LLC, doing business as Chloe, located at 101 Seaport Boulevard, holder of a common vitular, 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Lulu Green LLC, doing business as Lulu Green Cafe, located at 246 West Broadway. Premises consists of a restaurant on 2 floors, 2,057 square feet. On the first floor, seating for patrons, seating capacity 33, counter service, food preparation and restroom, and in the basement, restroom, food preparation area, storage and office. Mary Latouf, manager, closing hour 11 p.m. And for the record, the board has found public need for a license for this licensee at this location. The item before us today is the transfer of this license. Attorney Joseph Hanley. Attorney Hanley.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner, Secretary Green, Tom Miller from McDermott, Quilty and Miller on behalf of the applicant for this transfer of license and change of location. I am joined by Mary Latouf, who is one of the owners of Lulu Green and the proposed manager of record. As stated previously, she is a citizen of the U.S., a resident of the Commonwealth. She is experienced in the food and beverage industry. She is also familiar with the laws of the Commonwealth and the rules of the board for the sale and service of alcohol. As the board is aware, we were before you in November of last year for a new license application, and as Secretary Green just mentioned, you did find public need for the license at this location at that hearing. Just as a brief background, Lulu Green opened in 2019 and survived the pandemic through its support, through the support of the community, as seen by the previous community process and the testimony at the hearing in November. They offer organic and plant-based options in a casual atmosphere. Their food is prepared from a scratch kitchen. It is sourced from local farms and producers. The addition of the license here will add a new amenity to a unique restaurant in this growing section of West Broadway, and they will continue their tradition of working with clean and organic products. The beverage program will include organic and biodynamic, which is apparently a hard word for me to say, wines, as well as local and organic craft beers. After minor renovations to accommodate the license, if approved, the restaurant will have 33 seats with proposed hours of operation from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. We thank the board for hearing us today, and we are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Attorney Miller. I don't have any questions at this time. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
No, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Good morning, Chairwoman Joyce and members of the board. Mary Koski on behalf of Councilor at Large Michael Flaherty. Councilor Flaherty would like to echo the comments of the District Councilor Flynn and go on record of support If granted, the council asks that the proponent to continue to work closely with neighbors to address any concerns of quality of life issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I see a hand raised from Catherine Costa. I'm going to ask you to unmute and you may testify.
Hi, my name is Catherine Costa. I'm a resident of South Boston. I have celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disease in which I'm not allowed to consume gluten or else it harms my body. Lulu Green is an establishment in the neighborhood where I feel safe to eat, which isn't always easy to find. Lulu Green's been an amazing addition to the neighborhood, and adding a beverage program would even further that and would just really be appreciated by other people who are in the gluten-free community like myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
And before we get to the next item on the agenda, I will just go back quickly because we are joined by Mr. Lehman Chen on the phone. So going back to item number 19, 1625 Exchange Inc., this transfer. Now that we have Mr. Chen with us, Chairwoman Joyce, do you have any questions
Yes.
for the manager of record?
Mr. Chen, are you?
Yeah, Lee Chen.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the 4 manager of record questions we ask every applicant before us who's applying to be a manager of record. Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yes.
Are you familiar with our rules, the rules of the ABCC and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any questions regarding the manager of record. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
At this time, thank you.
Or the application?
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there anybody who wanted to testify for item number 19 on today's agenda, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Chu from the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant received 2 letters of support from 2 direct abutters and a letter of support from the Chinatown Neighborhood Council. They did receive a letter of opposition from a direct abutter as well. At this time, we would like to defer to the judgment of the board.
Good morning, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Fling's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Were there any other individuals who wanted to testify on item number 19? Great. The board will take this under advisement as well. And thank you for joining us, Mr. Chen.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We're now proceeding with item number 22, Land of Beer MA LLC, doing business as Land of Beer, Wine and Spirit, located at 1 South Station, has applied for a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license to be exercised on the above on first floor of food court consisting of 480 square feet. Manager Mohammed Sadiq, closing time 11 p.m. Attorney Marcy Costa. Attorney Costa.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, Attorney Green, Marcy Costa, McDermott, Quilty, and Miller, 28 State Street, on behalf of the applicant. Joined with me today is Mohammed Sadiq, the proposed manager of record. We are before you today for an application for a new package store license to be operated within, within South Station. It's a small 480 square foot market that would be freestanding within that lobby train waiting area of South Station. The applicant has met with the Leather District Neighborhood Association, as well as held an abutters meeting and met with the transit police in order to discuss concerns over safety and other issues with the location of having a package store in South Station. The license, the proposed licensee is requesting the license at the request of commuters and other members of the community looking for an option to be able to pick up a bottle of wine, a case of beer to bring home with them on their commute from South Station to wherever they're heading along the commuter rail system. The space is small. They've agreed after speaking with the community on no nips and no singles. They have put in place a very extensive security plan. There will be barriers surrounding the open area of the market with one point of entry and exit so that people cannot just enter the market and grab something and walk out. Also, it allows for the entire space to be visible from the employees working within the market. They have hired private security that will be located at that entrance at all times when the business is open, so that again, it is an extra point of security, an extra person and point of contact for all people entering and exiting. There will be scanners in use for anybody purchasing alcohol from the location, and all liquors, hard alcohol products will be stored behind the register. So none of that will be accessible to people entering the market from, that'll just be beer and wine on the shelves and in the refrigerator spaces. Additionally, the 11 p.m. closing hour was of concern to members of the community because other things in South Station are not open that late, and the concern was that it would attract maybe the wrong type of people coming in and trying to purchase. We have spoken with the community, heard them, and want to make sure that we're working with them very closely to have this be a well-run and well-operated space. So the actual closing hour will be 8 p.m. to accommodate the same type of closing hour as the other businesses that are currently located within South Station. In our talks with transit police as well as the community, there were concerns, again, like I said, about possible public intoxication, people drinking within the station. And that is the drive for the no nips and no singles. The types of products that are going to be being sold are going to be higher end beer and wine products. Also, since the pandemic began, the Tavern in the Square at South Station has been serving alcoholic beverages to go and has not been causing a large issue within South Station or the commuter area. So we believe that having this package store is not going to exacerbate any issues in the location as well. Mr. Sadiq, the proposed manager of record, has over 25 years of experience in the food and beverage and hospitality industry. He is a previously approved manager of record. He has been a manager of record at locations within Logan Airport. He understands all of the extra precautions that need to be taken in a high traffic location such as South Station, such as Logan Airport. He's a US citizen, a Massachusetts resident. He is familiar with the rules and regulations as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol for this board, the ABCC and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. He is over 21 years of age. Additionally, the owners of this proposed licensee have experience operating businesses in other major hubs in the United States. They are involved in a package store located in Penn Station in New York. I believe the board received a letter from Amtrak Police stating that they've had no issues with that location there. They're hoping to put one in Port Authority as well as other large hubs of transit venues within the United States. They are extremely aware of the specific nature of these locations and all of the other factors that go into them compared to a store on the street. There's people coming and going. It's a very transient space, but they feel as though there is a need in the city of Boston for South Station, the transit hub for the T, the commuter rail, and Amtrak, as well as buses, to have a small package store on site so that commuters can stop on their way home. If you're running late after a meeting and you need to get to something on the other end of your commute and you don't have time to stop, you can pick up a bottle of wine. That's really the purpose for this space. Additionally, to discourage grab and go type of purchases, the markup on the products in this location will help to deter that. So a bottle of wine that you might be able to get at another store for $12.99 will be closer to $18.99 at this location. Again, it's for those commuters looking to grab something and not have to make another stop, to be convenient in that way, not necessarily to be convenient for you to grab, open up while you're sitting there and continue on your way. We're happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
I'll reserve my right to ask questions after some of the other testimony. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
Same for me, I'll reserve. Thank you.
No questions, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Chulan Huang for the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. And a butters meeting was held on March 21st of our office. This applicant received many letters of opposition from residents in the area with concerns that the opening of the liquor store could exacerbate the existing issues of crime surrounding the substation in this area. The transit police has also submitted a letter of opposition. At this time, I would like to defer to the judgment of the board.
Good morning, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in opposition. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I see a hand raised from Catherine Friedman. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I am a Leather District resident who has attended a number of the meetings with the applicant and his lawyer. I've also had an ongoing dialogue with Attorney Costa, and I really do appreciate the applicant and his lawyer listening to some of the Leather District concerns, but there's still points of contention. And while we appreciate the no selling of nips or singles, that 11 p.m. closing time is an issue for this neighborhood. There are actually two similar retail establishments within 0.2 miles of South Station. So there really isn't that need. Those establishments close at 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. I've also lived in the Leather District for a long time. I can tell you that even pre-COVID, there was no place to buy a bite of food after about 8 p.m. around South Station. So to me, there's no need for a liquor store to stay open till 11 p.m. At that location. Furthermore, law enforcement has come forward. A sergeant from the A1 has repeatedly said that this would be a jurisdictional nightmare for the police. And with that in mind, I cannot support this proposal.
Thank you, Catherine. I also just want to mention, we did state that the closing hour would be 8 p.m., not 11 p.m. Any longer after our conversations with the community.
Thank you for that. The next hand I see raised is from Matthew Browdy.
Hey, thanks. I'm Matthew Brody, resident nearby. I just wanted to echo some of the things that Catherine said. First of all, that I appreciate through our conversations, Costa and the applicants, that they have actually been, I think, pretty open to hearing feedback. And I do really appreciate the adjustment to remove nips and singles from sales. I think the closing time is a place that there's still some contention, partly because the understanding that we have as residents nearby is that the application for the license is still 11 p.m., even though the closing time that's planned is 8 p.m. So I would ask that if the license is ultimately granted, that the commissioners consider adjusting the license to reflect the planned closing time rather than the 11 p.m. so that that issue could perhaps be resolved.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Thank you. I'll turn it back to the board. I know you had all reserved your right to ask questions. Any questions from Chairwoman Joyce or the commissioners?
I don't have any questions at this time.
I am curious, who's going back to jurisdictional issues, whose job would it be to monitor, police the seating area throughout South Station?
I believe just from our conversations that it's a combination. There's Amtrak police, but I believe it's transit police directly within South Station.
Within the area of like,
yeah, that main waiting area where the dining areas are, the Starbucks and the.
And that's what we would be relying on for making sure that people haven't taken what they purchased here and sit right down waiting for their commuter rail train.
Yes.
May I add something? There are 4 layers of security. There's security that's provided by the landlord, and there's Amtrak, and there's transit police as well.
So has the landlord pledged to support the mission of policing this as well?
Yes.
Okay. And what have we heard from the commuter at like people actually getting onto the trains? What have they said about their ability to police this once they've departed on a train?
Marcy.
I apologize, Commissioner Kern. Can you repeat the question? I'm just not sure I understood. Are you referring to the commuters or the MBTA employees on the commuter rail?
Well, the commuter rail, I don't believe is run directly by the MBTA. It's its own entity, right? So have we heard from the commuter rail and that the private contractor there? I forget who they are now. Maybe they were Keola's back in the day. I don't know if they still are.
No, we've spoken with the MBTA and the transit police. The landlord has the South Station's run on a master lease to the actually the entity that operates the station and controls all of the vendors. So they've been in contact with the MBTA specifically.
Marcy, is that Ashkenazi?
Yes.
And they support this?
Yes, we have a letter of support from them as well as their security team.
So that's the operating station, I'm sorry?
Yes, they operate Faneuil Hall and South Station.
I'm
concerned to hear from the operators of the commuter rail as well, because this will be feeding into their services. And what, their ability to police this as well.
Yeah, there was someone testified that the transit police opposed it. So we'll try to see if we can find that testimony. I haven't seen it yet, but.
We do have a letter of support, a letter of opposition, sorry, from the MBTA supervisor of the police. So that is on the file and should be in the records, but not from the commuter rail directly. And also, Attorney Costa, I don't believe we've seen the letter you referenced from the Amtrak police. So
okay, I sent it over to Chu. So I'll just send it directly to Maria and CC Licensing.
That would be great. Thank you.
No problem.
Any further questions from the board?
Not for me, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. With that, the board will take this under advisement.
Thank you also.
Thank you. Calling item number 23, La Riqueza Market, Inc., doing business as La Riqueza Market, located at 132 Meridian Street in East Boston, has applied for a retail package store wines and malt beverages license to be exercised on the above 3-story pre-existing structure with convenience store on first floor, 855 square feet. First floor includes 1 room for the convenience store, private storage areas, and an employee restroom. Manager Jose Perez, closing time 9 p.m. Attorney Jeffrey Drago. Attorney Drago.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Thank you, Madam Chair, commissioners of the board. Attorney Jeff Drago with Drago and Toscano with the business address of 11 Beacon Street, here on behalf of the applicant, La Riqueza Market, and I also have the proposed manager of record, Jose Perez, who's here with me as well. This application is for a package license to sell wine and malt beverages only at the location at 132 Meridian Street. This is a commercial storefront location. It's 855 square feet and had originally been opened in October 2020 by the applicant as a variety store. Over that time and during the pandemic, he has expanded this business to become a grocery store, selling box goods, general grocery items, fruits and vegetables. And there has become a strong public need from his customer base for beer and wine to be served with the food that folks are buying on site, taking it home for meals. We submitted over 68 letters of support from the community, and we received support from the Maverick Central Neighborhood Association. The plan that we have is to have all varieties of craft beers, imported and domestic red and white wines. This isn't a large location, so the racks would be within eye shot and the coolers of the manager of record. Mr. Perez is a citizen of the United States, a resident of Massachusetts, over 21 years of age, and is familiar with the rules and regulations for selling alcohol set by this board, the ABCC, and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This location is in the busy section of Central Square in East Boston. It's right along a bus route, so there's a number of folks commuting by bus and walking to the T stations that stop by at different hours for this location, and that is why there is this public need that has happened over time. I can pause to answer any questions that the board may have.
Just a quick question. The total convenience store is 855 square feet.
Correct.
And approximately, like, what percentage of that is going to be converted to beer and wine?
It would be a a few racks, Madam Chair, and then in a few coolers. So the majority would be everything else that he sells.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Thank you.
One for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Natalia Benitez, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office hosted an abutters meeting for this proposal on March 23rd of this year and had no attendees. The applicant also met with Maverick Central Neighborhood Association on April, for which they received unanimous approval. At this time, our office would like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 24, Hunsa Inc., doing business as Kala Thai Cookery, located at 151 Hanover Street, has applied for a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license to be exercised on the above 1,261 square feet, full service Thai restaurant with fully equipped kitchen, dining room, seating for 19, 1 handicap accessible restroom. The space has a basement for dry storage and 2 exits. Manager Manita Bunagit Karn, apologies for mispronunciation, and closing time 11 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Manita Bunagit Karn, a president of Hansa Inc., DBA Kala Thai Cookery. I'm here to requesting the approval for the liquor license today. And I'm also a U.S. citizen and a resident of Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I also familiar with all the regulation and the ABCC with 22-year experience in food service. So I'm actually has a deep understanding when it comes to serving the North End community. We started this restaurant in 2018, and we actually would love to support the demand and serve both our local residents and also the tourist travelers, not only with food. And we are looking for something further to enhance the dining experience in the North End area.
Thank you, Chairman Joyce. Any questions?
Thank you, and thank you for joining us. How many years have you been in operation at this location?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
How many years have you been operating this restaurant at this location without?
I'm starting operating restaurants in 2018 for this location. And I also do have another restaurant starting in 2014 in Watertown, and also serving a full liquor license as well.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions at this time. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon?
Questions at this time? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Sarah D'Amico with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. They did complete an abutters meeting with me, which I held on April 25th at 6 p.m. Although I did receive an email today from Ed Flynn's office saying they wanted to defer the date for today. So I'm not sure if you want to let them speak on that, but at this time, I'd like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Good morning, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like this application to be deferred to a later date so the councilor can be briefed on this application and also continue the community process. Thank you.
Anna, they did do an abutters meeting, as was just explained. Would the counselor like to speak to them directly? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, the councilor was not aware of this application as we were not invited to the abutters meeting or brief on it before it came to the board.
Okay, and can we put you in touch with the applicant so that you can work together to brief the president?
I will be, I already spoke to the applicant and I will be following up so that that can happen.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for that. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Okay, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 25, Foundation Kitchen LLC, doing business as Foundation Kitchen, located at 32 Cambridge Street in Charlestown, has applied for a common victual or 7-day wines and malt beverages license to be exercised on the above. Approximately 5,723 rentable square feet, consisting of approximately 1,814 rentable square feet on the first floor of the building located at 32 Cambridge Street in Charlestown, and approximately 3,909 rentable square feet located on the basement level of that building. Tenant also shall have the exclusive right to use an outdoor seating area that consists of approximately 392 rentable square feet. The first floor space is further divided into a bathroom, 4 vendor stalls, and a general seating area for use by patrons of any of the vendors. The bathroom is approximately 200 square feet. Each vendor stall also consists of roughly 200 square feet. The shared seating area is approximately 800 square feet. Stalls number 1 and 2 both have seating for 4 patrons. Stall number 3 has 8 seats. The cafe bar stall has seating for 10. The shared seating area has seating for 29. Only the cafe bar will serve alcohol in the premises. Basement consists of a restroom, office, storage room, 4 private studios, closed-in wash station, 2 open access wash stations, a walk-in refrigerator, and an open shared kitchen space. First floor consists of a large retail area with 4 vendor stalls, a front vestibule, and a restroom. The exclusive use outdoor patio is located on private property. Applicant proposes to operate it on a seasonal basis from April 1st through October 31st each year. The applicant's proposed hours of operation for the patio would be the same as the hours for the premises, 12 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Manager Henry Patterson, closing time 11:30 p.m. Attorney Chad Colarusso. Attorney Colarusso.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman Joyce, Commissioners of the Board, and Attorney Green. My name is Chad Colarusso, and I am here on behalf of the applicant Foundation Kitchen LLC. My office address is 900 Cummings Center, Suite 207T, Beverly, Massachusetts. The proposed ABCC Manager of Record, Henry Patterson, is here on this call. I'm also joined by one of the principals of Foundation Kitchen LLC, Kieran Nagel. With respect to Mr. Patterson, he's a United States citizen. He's a resident of Concord, Massachusetts. He's over the age of 21. He has over 40 years of experience in the hospitality industry. He's tip certified. His experience runs a gamut from owning and operating restaurants to consulting with restaurants that really range in size from one-man operations to much more sophisticated businesses. And as a result of his considerable experience, he is familiar with the rules and regulations at the licensing ABCC promulgated by the City of Boston and further by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have. I can also defer to Mr. Patterson or Mr. Nagel should the need so arise.
Thank you, Attorney Colarusso, and thank you, Mr. Patterson, for joining us. Your attorney did cover the manager of record questions. The only outstanding issue that I'm trying to work out in my head, and maybe this will be something you come back to the board for, will Foundation Kitchen be managing the operations of the liquor there, or will there be a management agreement later on with someone else?
So there is a management agreement in place.
Okay.
Part of the application, we identified the company. It's called Fermenta LLC.
I did see that. Yeah, Danny and I did go over the application.
Yep.
Okay.
Peter Nelson is the owner of that business.
Okay.
So he will be overseeing the direct sale and service of the wine and malt beverages.
Okay. And just to make sure I understand the concept here, it's going to be sort of like a test kitchen in the basement level or incubator kitchen in the basement level. People have 2 or 3 years, or I don't know if it's 1 year, or they can extend the lease for up to 3 years to sort of get their test kitchen idea up and going. And then there's a different on the main level. People can come and actually sit and enjoy the food and beverage there for other tenants of the space. Is that right? Basically.
That's correct, Madam Chairwoman. Yes.
Okay, I mean, I had the ability to go and see the site, so just for clarification for my fellow commissioners, it's something we haven't seen a lot before the board. So at this point, I don't have any questions for you or the applicant, Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Not at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Caitlin Stapleton with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. All butters were flyered in our office held in a butters meeting on April 12th. The meeting had no attendees and I have received no support or opposition from any of the abutters. So at this time, we'd like to defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Thank you. And just Attorney Colarusso, I'm checking with staff, but I don't believe that we have an application before us for approval of that management agreement. So that might be something that we need to come back to. Oh, actually, we'll check on that and get back to you.
I think it's in the master application.
Right. If memory serves me, we did actually submit the agreement and filled out the ABCC application for new license, the section that pertained to management agreements.
Great. Thank you. Then we'll just make sure, but thank you. We'll get back to you if there are any issues or anything missing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, the board will take this under advisement. And that is the last of the items before the board today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.